Did Robert Downey Jr. just open the door to his MCU return? Well, the actor himself has played coy since the day he left and kind of made us feel like it wasn't happening. But a recent statement by the actor following his Oscar win seemed to not only open the door, he pretty much kicked it. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what he said, the potential return of Iron Man, and how this could be big news for the MCU. Now, before we do that, though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and ring that bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently, so you are in the know. Well, I have to say, this was rather unexpected, although it's something all of us fans have wanted. Ever since Tony Stark left the MCU at the end of Avengers Endgame, we all have to be real. The tone and vibe of the whole universe simply hasn't been the same. He first played the character way back in 2008, bringing the character to life and definitely elevating him from somewhat of a B-list actor to the top of the food chain and ultimately making him one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood history. Now, like we said, he said goodbye to the role in 2009's Avengers Endgame, and since then he's really been focused more on serious movies. Now, most recently he was part of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, and from that project he actually won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. Now, RDJ made it pretty clear several times that he felt like his acting roles in the Marvel Universe were not taken seriously, and therefore the Academy never really awarded him any kind of recognition for those roles. Now, there have been some rumors that would suggest that he could return in Avengers Secret Wars as a villainous version of the character, and recently Robert Downey Jr. sat down with Esquire and made it pretty clear he hasn't closed that door. When asked if he would return, he said, "Happily. It's too integrated a part of my DNA. That role chose me. And look, I always say never ever bet against Kevin Feige. It's a losing bet. He's the house, he'll always win." Now, he did go on to make very clear, though, that when Iron Man died in Avengers Endgame, Marvel Studios is, well, rather cautious, saying that they are, quote, going to keep that moment and not touch that moment again. We all worked very hard for years to get to that, and we would never magically undo it in any way. This absolutely does not rule out some sort of multiverse variant. And with infinite number of potential Earths, well, there are other versions of Tony Stark floating around the multiverse that may have seen Captain America issue the final snap, watching his best friend die and that universe progress in a different direction. Now, I don't really think he'll return as a villainous version of the character, but I think if ultimately in Secret Wars we see lots of variations of these characters, well, there's absolutely no reason he couldn't return, and that would not undermine his death at the end of Avengers Endgame. This would also lead us into whatever world exists post-Secret Wars. Many of us are speculating that could look like a soft reboot for the MCU, and to me it seems like we could very well see Tony Stark as part of that world, and unbelievably, he might be played by Robert Downey Jr. Now, obviously, Marvel will have to pony up to get this actor back into the game. Robert Downey Jr. was paid top dollar for many of his roles in the MCU, even his cameos. So there are a lot of moving pieces to getting him back, but I know the Marvel Universe would absolutely benefit by the return of Iron Man. Fans would love to see RDJ return to the role, and quite honestly, the energy he brings, you just can't put a price tag on. If he does return to the MCU, well, we're gonna have to wait and see.